Check, check, check. We are live in the time of Corona. We are live.
I mean,
we are live.
8 o'clock sessions are
They're crazy.
they're just not as pretty. Okay.
I know. It's all right. So we're gonna follow the comments. The comments.
Just so you all know, if you are watching this,
Yeah. I'm
not
watching.
live. No. If you're watching this not live, you can fast forward this part.
Yeah, because we're probably
this is called the settling in part.
Settling in.
Settling in. Part.
Hey, I'm settling in.
I'm settling in.
All right, we got it.
Oh, Zoe Mai. It's like we spend all our time with this babe.
Wait, we have to tell y'all as we are settling in. Zoe Maya Jones, you need to go follow her on Instagram.
100%.
100. And she does this amazing thing called Cooking with Friends on your one's really the arm's really
it's got an arm of its own.
It's got an arm of its own. But she does this thing called Cooking with Friends, where on Tuesdays or sometimes Thursdays, you just need to follow her on Instagram. And she is an amazing chef and does cooking on her Instagram channel, and it is awesome. We just got to cook with her tonight, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So
Excelente. So for the record, that's the thing.
Hold on, let me check. I don't think so. I think that's just the thing. Yeah.
For the record, I think I want you all just to take a minute.
No, we're taking a minute.
Of gratitude for me.
Wait, we're taking a minute. We're taking a minute.
You're peeking.
I'm trying to see if you're peeking.
Well, I was going to tell a story, but it's kind of funnier if I don't tell it. So thanks for the moment of gratitude. So
let me fix this one. Yeah. Oh, that's not working. Okay.
Danke Shane. Okay, so today, so if y'all recall, we had one of the most popular podcasts that we had was the one about a grocery list.
Oh, I think it was the most controversial podcast that we had.
It was controversial.
Yeah.
Well, to be clear, it wasn't the most controversial, but it
created a lot of conversation.
A lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Can
I try these blue glasses?
100%.
Let's see, y'all.
Don't stretch them out.
No, good Lord, no.
What do you mean no?
They look terrible.
They're literally the spitting image of the glasses that you own. No, it's because the blue kind of fades out your eyes.
Got it.
I mean, y'all. This isn't going well. It's going downhill fast. Now it's going back uphill.
Back uphill. So 4 minutes and 20 seconds in.
And we've said nothing. We have to wait for the people to arrive.
Here's the thing. If we keep talking like this, ain't nobody gonna arrive. Here's the thing. I'm tired.
You look tired.
You look tired.
Oh,
I don't mean that in a bad way. I know that you're tired, so I'm probably projecting that. But
I'm tired.
We're tired. So speaking of grocery lists, I went to the grocery store today.
Thank you for doing that.
In the time, you're welcome. And while I say this, quick shout out to all of the
Grocers?
Yes, grocers, but also the person within the family unit or quarantine pod or whatever you're in that is doing the grocery runs, because that is not an easy task. Going to the grocery store used to be kind of an exciting thing for us, but right now it's like a 3-hour adventure, because you're not only stocking up for what feels like an apocalypse every time, but you're basically just eating more food, so it only lasts.
Whoa. Are we eating more food, or
well,
because
we're cooking at home more?
I know, but we're not people who. So let's think about this. Before, I would go out on Wednesdays with my girlfriends.
Yeah.
And when else would we eat out?
I mean, there wasn't a schedule with it, but we wouldn't eat out a bunch. But there was like things would you would have lunch out, right?
I feel like somehow
things would last longer. It would definitely last less. Groceries would last longer. I don't know how or why, but that knowing how much
I just feel like you're gonna fight with me this whole podcast.
No.
Okay.
No,
just checking.
No, I'm not trying to.
You're jazzed up.
I'm all keyed up.
So we've been reading this nonviolent communication book, and and it was helping us to kind of identify feelings. And one of the suggestions was
they were giving words of like descriptors for how you feel.
Yeah, and they were like keyed up.
Keyed up. And so now it's become a family favorite.
I was like, I feel keyed up.
I'm all keyed up.
All keyed up. I mean, I'm keyed up most of the time.
Why are you keyed up right now?
Because you got keyed up. And then it got me keyed up.
Back to the grocery list.
What did you get for? Somehow you managed to spend triple the money on groceries today. You came home and you're like, I spent a lot of money at the grocery store. I was like, oh, cool. How much? And you were like, $5,826. I was, what the? How did you end up spending so much money at the grocery store? Have you seen it? The fridge looks empty.
I mean, this is so this is what happens, right? Like she accused me of being of you just gonna fight with me the whole time, and then you just use that as a doorway to like the fridge was empty because I got home and had to wash everything, so it was sitting out.
Hey, can we give an accurate representation of life?
Girl, you are keyed up. I'll tell you what.
I'm like a 4-year-old. I'm like overly tired. You grocery shop and I wash every single thing every time. The only reason you washed today, truly the only reason you washed today, was because I'm working and you're off work. Truly. I mean, I wash all the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you wash it unless I'm working when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Here's what I really wanted to talk about today.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Peace and love. Here's
what I really wanted to talk about today was that we are busy right now, and you can tell we're both keyed up. we're busy. We're tired. We've had extremely long days for a variety of reasons, but being tired in the time of Corona
isn't an option.
It's a different thing, right? Like our days are busier in different ways. For example, we go to the grocery store run now takes 3 hours. You're going to different stores, you're buying more food, you're bringing it home, you're washing it off, it's setting, then you're putting it away. And
but can I also say,
whole process.
Can I also say that's the technical, still on the speakers. That's the technical description. It is also a very emotional experience because you're way more aware of what the people around you. This whole concept that people are threats, which is insane because people are love and people are connection and people are safety. And now, some people out there were threats before, but now that everybody's a threat, like literally everybody, even your close friends. Like, I hope to see my parents in 2020, and I will also wonder if they are a threat. That's crazy.
What does that do from kind of your perspective as a therapist
It's
in terms
terrible.
of like your somatic, your body-based like reactions?
I mean, my hope is that people are having like that cognitive awareness that's like, this isn't real life. This is circumstantial. And then, like, this isn't always, because it pings this really primitive part of you that says, I'm not safe. I am not safe. And it's true. We're not safe right now. We're not totally safe. Truth is, we're never totally safe. But I do think that, the nervous system is on. So the amygdala, which is the fire alarm of the brain.
Take your notes out, folks.
Yeah. The amygdala, which is the fire alarm of the brain, is firing and it's saying threat. And so the problem with the amygdala is that it can get hijacked and it can become kind of permanently or over a long period of time turned on. And that's what PTSD is, and that's what trauma is when it lives in the body. And so, the big concern is that it's going to be on for so long that it's going to get hijacked, and it's going to be on forever, or until we deal with this, or until we like reclaim safety. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, like, it's never going to be the same again. And I think that in part, people will lose that sense of safety, which, I don't want it to get too dark, too deep. I just don't. But, we were already, with the amount of information that floats around on the internet, we were already starting to become aware of how little safety there really is.
Right.
And in some ways, I don't want an illusion of safety. I don't want an illusion of safety, but the nervous system needs time to settle. It needs space to settle. And, the hope is that you can do that in your homes and but you go out. I mean, you came back and you were really all keyed up.
I was all keyed up.
You were keyed up.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I guess where I'm at is like, I'm curious now. I mean, I'm on this like your advice thing, but coping mechanisms with that, because how do we as a couple normalize ourselves to just kind of accept the present moment in the way, and not like, because I find myself normal tasks, and I'm curious from people watching out there to comment on the Facebook on what are things outside of grocery shopping, because we've already talked about that, but what are things that are taking you more effort and time, right? Like it's taking more time and effort. And so with that, and you're pointing out that we can't actually rely on other people, and everybody else is kind of as a threat. Everybody else is seen, threat feels like a harsh word, but it's kind of true. Everybody else feels like a threat. Things, people could be infect you in a way, and so you can't rely on other people as a way to relax.
Can you believe that Bird Box is actually happening?
What do you mean?
Well, like, that there's like this thing floating around out there that's trying to kill it. Can you believe that all these pandemic movies are actually happening?
So if
like Bird... it's actually happening.
It's actually happening.
It's actually happening.
Mm-hmm. What would be the equivalent of, like, how in Bird Box, how the birds chirped when the monster was around? What would be the like COVID equivalent? Like, instead of we had to cover our eyes, now we have to cover our mouths.
Right. We have to cover our mouths, and when the puppy dogs are singing, like when the puppy dogs are happy, because they're like what?
So I think we have Alberto's commenting that it's not a threat, it's common sense. So meaning that
Oh, no. But let
yeah.
me tell you about this because it's from a biological standpoint. It's
Here we
not.
go. She's all keyed up now. She got keyed up
I
with
got
that
keyed
comment.
up.
Yeah.
That comment.
Tell me.
Sit up straight.
I'm relaxed. I feel good.
But don't edit this part out.
Okay.
Okay. It is. Hey, Lucia. It is a threat from a cellular level, physiologically speaking. It's not. Your brain knows it's common sense. It's obviously. It is a physiological reaction, and that's
Right.
not something that you have control over.
Got it.
But it helps to have awareness of it because then it helps to explain why you come home from the grocery store and you're utterly exhausted.
Yeah.
So I think in this relationship, though, it ends up bringing up the question of like, what do you do on an empty tank? And we of course, the whole world prior to coronavirus was a bunch of empty tanks out there trying to make it in this world, being overly scheduled, overly exhausted, totally distracted, not at all mindful. I mean, that was, we had that experience plenty of times. And so
overly scheduled really rings true there. Yeah.
So here we've had a much easier time. It's been a break. We've been under scheduled in many ways, unfortunately. But that emotional toll is still something that plays into the relationship. And I would say that, especially for me being in business for myself, it's like, it takes a lot of effort to continue to do the work that I'm doing, and probably you too.
Right. And it brings up a kind of a question in terms of like, so you mentioned pre-coronavirus, we were busy people because we were overly scheduled and there was a lot, happening. During quarantine, we're also feeling really busy, but it's in a very different way. And I wonder if part of our learning as a couple throughout the coronavirus is actually learning how, because we have been conditioned, it is our nature to find ways to create busyness. Or is that why we're still busy? Or are we still busy or feeling busy because life just takes longer while in quarantine?
What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think that we talked about on this podcast about seeing the quarantine as an opportunity for things. And I think that doing that has made us busier, right? Now we do a live podcast every week. That's time. That's a lot of time. We do certain, things and dates with friends, every week or something like that.
Right, we're spending more time with different friends.
Yeah, different times, and it's through different ways, but it has placed emphasis on that, and it has placed connection, and so, and all of that is good. There's goodness that comes out of all that, but I think there is an aspect here of we really can't. It's really hard, at least for you and I, to slow down. It's really hard. And what we've managed to do in all this, like, oh, life has slowed down, I'm not driving everywhere, I'm not leaving our house. And that's true, but a combination of a grocery store run taking 3 hours and the fact that we're trying to seize the quarantine or seize the moment, for lack of a better word, capitalize on it to, learn some new things or connect with new people, we are still really busy. And I think that's actually a problem. It has been a problem because we're waking up, we're starting to go, we're doing stuff basically all day. And yes, more of it's on the computer, or all of it's on the computer, and then we're, going to bed tired at night.
Okay, so this is one of those moments where I'm like, are you in the present moment too much right now? Because we're exhausted today, but I had a great weekend. It was chill. We've had actually plenty of great weekends.
Yeah.
None of the weekends have felt overly scheduled. Even the weekend that I worked a little bit.
Yeah.
Or a lot of it. Didn't feel so bad. And so today we're overly tired. In the beginning, I felt overly tired, but then it would hit this lull. I don't know, babe. We're excited to live people. We're in our 30s. I don't know
It's all right that you're late, Robert. You are right on
It's
time.
Bob.
Actually,
That's Bob.
oh,
That's Bob in New York.
hey, Bob. Actually, the conversation's just getting going. We spent the first 6 minutes.
Oh my God,
patting my face.
Well, I patted his face, but also I burst into hysterical tears that were some part like overwhelmed, some part crying, and then hysterically laughing. So, but okay, so we're talking about the fact. So we don't agree right now.
Yeah.
I definitely.
So you think that we aren't as busy as I'm projecting.
Yeah, I think that what we're doing more of some things, but less of a lot of other things. And I think that that's really important for me for mindfulness. That it hasn't been so much about, it hasn't been so much about like what I'm like the scatterbrainness of our before life was really a problem.
Got it.
This is busy in focus.
I like that. I like that. So it's busier in that you're doing things with your time in order of like personal growth or human or connection, virtual connection with people, but you're building relationships. And so therefore you are busy, but it is intentional and it is focused rather than before it was a little scattered and you were wasting a lot of resources in that scatteredness, in that busyness. You were, kind of like pouring out, you were leaking. You've talked about that, like leaking out resources, leaking out energy. And now our busyness is focused. So it's a little bit more like,
it's a lot of it more meaningful for me.
Meaningful, that's the word I'm looking for.
It's a lot of it more meaningful.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, pause real quick and thank you for that reframe on it. I don't feel as keyed up.
I don't feel as keyed up either, but I have cleared my throat about 470 times. That's one part anxiety, because I'm like, oh, I'm on the podcast. Don't clear your throat.
Yeah.
And that's one part like we ate too late.
Yeah.
We were eating food right before the podcast.
Yeah. I'm curious from the folks listening. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm curious.
Talk about me clearing my throat.
As people are commenting, I'm curious. Do you feel more or less busy during quarantine? Like, do you feel like your schedule is more or less busy?
Oh, thanks, Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to know how you all are experiencing this, and if you're enjoying kind of what level of busy or not busy that you're experiencing. I was going to say something else. I guess I thought, it's so funny I think it's about adjusting too, because we're in week 9 now. And so it's just insane, or week 8, week 9.
Something.
Yeah. And so, I think like, imagine, close your eyes for a minute and imagine that we all got locked inside indefinitely.
Where are we locked inside?
At our homes, wherever we
live. Okay. Everybody.
It's this scenario, but it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
And we're told that we need to spend more time at home.
Okay.
Now, eventually, we're all going to look for a way out, right? We're all going to try to figure out how to get more connected, how to do more, something else. Right. But what are the top 3 things that you expected to do
while at home? Eat.
Number 2, just off the top of your head.
Sleep.
Okay.
Push-ups.
And how many of those have you done more of?
During this time?
Yeah.
All of them. No, sleep maybe sleep. Maybe I slept a little more on the weekends. About equal on sleep, but I've done more push-ups and I have eaten more.
You've done more push-ups? I haven't seen you do a single push-up.
Well, that's because you're always working. When you're in your office, I'm doing push-ups.
You're doing push-ups.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you want to ask me the same?
Yeah.
Question?
Yeah. Okay. What are the 3 things for you?
Eat, take walks, have sex.
Are you doing more or less of those?
I'm doing no more eating,
Bob says meditate, eat, and reflect.
Right. And so my curiosity with Bob is, are you doing those things? Like, that's what maybe we would anticipate doing at a time like this. And is it true? Is that what you're doing? I haven't eaten more. I have taken more walks, but not more sex. And that surprises me.
Yeah.
Like that really surprises me. And so that to me is a sign of busy. It's a sign of busy, but I think it's also a sign of like, because you got to be in the right mindset for that. You've got to be in the right headspace. So you've got to be, it just surprised me that it wasn't like 10 times more.
Yeah.
Or like 10 times more.
Right. Bob's on the right track. He says, yes, he's doing all of those things more.
Nice.
That's awesome. Wait, but now I'm curious. I guess I'm still back and forth around like, is this more healthier form of being busy, but is being busy during quarantine, is it better or worse? I don't know.
Let me just say, when I applied for partial unemployment because it really felt like my business dropped, and I looked at my income over the course of the first quarter, and saw that it hadn't dropped as much as it's felt like it's dropped. I was like, oh, I can relax. I can relax a little because I've been pushing hard, and I think part of pushing is pivoting, because I think this is more of a long-term solution, and I think it's also a matter of like some of that income has come from the push,
right?
But I do wonder what'll happen if I stop pushing so much, because I think I've lost like something, but no, I mean, the income's not exactly the same, but it's certainly not as low as I expected it to be.
Yeah. Do you feel like you want to push? Like, do you feel like that's giving you energy?
Oh my gosh, I need a break so bad. I was operating.
I think a lot of people are getting to that point where we're like, okay, it's time for a break. Like,
and I'm not, and I have been going with my body since the beginning of this. It's like in the beginning, it was. And I'm sorry for those that it offends, but like we also have grief around not having kids, but we don't have kids. And so, it's fun to be just with you and I and innovating and all that. That's just been my experience. There's privilege wrapped up. I don't need to qualify that, but it's been fun. And it's, it's been innovative and interesting, and I was full of adrenaline and I did all sorts of stuff, but I am tired. And I'm pretty sure I said this last week. I'm tired.
Yeah, you're tired. So how are you going to incorporate more rest?
Well, I'm taking tomorrow off, which is crazy to do in the middle of the week. I have plenty on my plate to do. I have plenty, and I'm taking the day off.
You're going to take the day off. Great. I knew that, but awesome.
Yeah, and I'm going to I just had this awesome, I guess it was probably 6 to 8 week group on Facebook, and it was awesome. It was supposed to be 2 weeks, and I've closed it. It's going to close at the end of, or in the Tuesday of next week, and that was awesome. So I'm just kind of taking things off my plate, and this is where the recalibration comes in, and I wonder if it'll open up. I haven't taken as many walks in the past few days, so I wonder if it'll open up more walks again.
Yeah.
And cool. But I will say about the sex, there's been a lot of intimacy with you. Like the time, that quality time is so intimate.
Yeah.
It's really meaningful for me.
Is quality time one of your love languages?
It's the second highest. Touch is the first, and quality time is the second. Yeah. And I'm like in heaven.
Yeah.
I'm in heaven.
A lot of quality time. A lot of quality time with the puppy dog too.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate, this conversation, because I think I've personally been feeling a little agitated, if you will, at the fact of kind of the public conversation, the public dialogue is around this kind of, this, not this new normal, but like this, we're being more creative and this time, and I know a lot of people are struggling, but there's this whole narrative around kind of like, people are going back to baking and simplifying and doing this, and I have noticed that in my actions. Like, I don't, we don't go out for a drink or go out to eat, or I'm not driving into work every day. Like, I've noticed that in my actions, but I haven't necessarily felt that in my being, in my body. I haven't felt that. I've still felt tired. and stressed and all of those emotions. And so that has actually given me agitation in a way. Like I'm like, wait, am I doing this all wrong? Am I not capitalizing on the aspect to kind of like take a break during this time, or am I just pushing myself? Am I addicted to being busy? And so that's kind of how I came into this conversation and was feeling today.
What do you think the answer is?
I don't know. I think in some ways, yes, but I also have to appreciate the transition and I think find new ways of kind of gaining energy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the adage, like wherever I go, there I am, right? Like just because we're in quarantine doesn't mean we're going to become new people. And I have also heard people say they're stress baking or they're baking from boredom or something like that. And I will say I think that we are having the same experience that a lot of people who are having a somewhat simplified experience are talking about, in the sense that we have let go of all distractions, not by choice, but by force. And we're narrowed in. Like I said, we're really focused in on certain things and doing a lot of that, like a lot of cooking, and that's intense. But we're focused in on certain things. And then we are, discerning what else we want to put back in our life when things free up a little bit, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So, I think we will have a different perspective when we leave here. It'll be I mean, it's funny. Hindsight is 2020.
2020. Year 2020. Okay. Love it. I got it from the first. It was awesome.
Cool reaction. So, hindsight's 2020, and then, we'll have this other perspective. But,
right.
The baking bread and this, I mean, baby, if we didn't have work, a lot of people don't have work.
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate. And so they're like, what do I do with my hands? And you know how it is. If you and I don't work, unless we're on vacation, but if we're home, staycations are tough. We're like, we get really crazy.
That's the thing. I think the whole thing is, staycations are harder than you think.
Yeah.
To relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not ready to totally wrap up. I know we were going to keep this one a little short, but I just want to give you any more space that you want or need to just, there's more to say there. I can feel that.
In a way, I mean, I appreciate the space, but I don't really have that much more to share with it, just to be honest. Like can
I do something for you, or can I support you in some ways? You're like, I mean, every week is an opportunity to go, okay, what do I need now? I mean, every day for that matter. Is there something I can do to?
I think, I'm not sure. I'll think on that. I mean, I think we are doing both a good job just, showing up for each other. I mean, I mean, maybe there are ways in which, we could work together on things a little bit more, but it's not. It's like when I say that, but I can't actually think of a specific time. It just, I think here's what it is I'm at a point where I don't want to schedule anything more. Like, I don't want to schedule a hangout with this, and I don't want to do that. Like, I want to have free space to sit with you and relax. I saw this funny, I think it was a tweet the other day that was like, I miss my friends. And then the friends are saying, well, you want a Zoom chat? And the person's like, no, I don't. And like, that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, I do miss people, but I don't want to, I just need I need some downtime from the quarantine time, from the new busy of quarantine. Like, I need some downtime.
Did you feel that way before about scheduling? Because I felt that way before about scheduling. Now I'm in a different place where I'm like,
no, I didn't feel that way before because I get a lot of my energy from being in motion. And so like sitting and doing things, sitting and being busy is really hard for me.
Got it. Yeah. That's good to know. Well, unfortunately, I have plans for us on Friday and Saturday.
Great.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't have plans for us tomorrow. I don't have plans for us on Thursday. Although your dear friend Jess wants to hang out at some point, and I think it'd be really
Would
fun.
love to see her.
Yeah, I know. I think it'd be fun to catch up. But that's good to know. Thanks for sharing that. I will. So here's what I'm going to ask of you.
Okay.
I'm not going to make decisions for us. I'm going to, I get offers to hang out or I have an inspiration to hang out. I'm going to ask you if that is something you want to do, and you have to say no.
Yep, and it's been something I'm working on.
So the question we got is, what about screen break? Pretend you went camping, pitch a tent in the backyard, turn off the phone for 24 hours. Okay, first of all, turning off the phone for 24 hours is a brilliant idea. Yeah. And why don't we do that?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So
I would love to go camping too in general.
Okay, so first of all, that's the first thing we did when quarantine hit. You know why we haven't gone camping since. We're not camping right now, babe.
Okay.
That's annoying to me.
Right, campgrounds are open.
Adam, do you have anything else that's going on right now in your life?
I just like the idea of
do you have anything else going on in your life?
Lots going on.
Okay, cool. So do I.
Yeah. Heard. No camping.
It's just we're not camping right now.
No camping. Sorry, I just like
you just always want to go camping, and it's like you're always like camping's gonna solve all my problems.
I like Zoe's idea of camping in the backyard.
I know,
too.
but camping's gonna solve all your problems, and then at the end of the day, it's like look at your life. Like it's just not. We're not going camping right now.
Heard.
Okay, we can camp in the backyard, and I ask for that almost every night. We are camping in the backyard tonight. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Why not?
Is the tent here?
We don't have the tent here.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry I suggested that.
It's this thing that you do where you're like, it's always about going camping, and I'm serious. Or getting on the river. I think here's what I'll say. And I'll just say it's a huge chunk of time, and I also love camping. It's this big, extensive thing, and then when you kind of put it on me like I'm like unhappy unless I'm like camping at least once a week, and then it's like, and then at the end of the day, look at your schedule, Adam.
Believe me, I said it without thinking about it. It was just, of course, I obviously love camping, and the idea sparked that in me, but clearly it's not a logical thing to be saying.
This wasn't very thought through, but yes.
It was not thought through. That is exactly right.
Were you going to say something else?
I agree with that. No. I'm good. I mean, I think what it is I like the idea of a little break from screens. I don't know when that will happen or when we do that, but even scheduling one out or scheduling more consistent time of break from screens is a good thing.
Okay, cool. So we do minimal screen time on Sundays. Do you want to let's make a commitment.
Okay.
What's your commitment?
My commitment is to I think find a chunk of time. I don't want to assign time to it, but my commitment is to find a day of the week or a chunk of time during the week where I don't look at any screens, but really just spend time outside. That's I think that's where and that's more walks, more time in the woods, and just unscheduled, like schedule less time. I don't know, it's a lot of commitments, but
sure. I'm going to turn off my phone on Saturday into Sunday.
Awesome. That's a great one. Very clear.
Like turn it off.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. All right, let's see if we do that.
Great suggestions. Only one of those led to an all-out brawl. Oh, thank you
y'all.
all for being present tonight. Appreciate you so much.
And I hope everyone finds rest and relaxation. Love y'all.
Yeah. Don't get too weary.
Don't get all keyed up.
Keyed up.